Puerto Rico versus Mexico, September 14th, T-Mobile Arena, Canelo versus Berlanga. The rivalry is intense, and you can catch all the action on BBC and Prime Video. The unified super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez faces the #1 contender Edgar Berlanga. This is a showdown that boxing fans have been eagerly anticipating, a true clash of titans. The pound-for-pound great and Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez will put his unified WBC, WBA, and WBO super middleweight world titles on the line against the undefeated WBA #1 ranked mandatory contender Edgar Berlanga on Mexican Independence Day in Las Vegas. The stage is set for one of the most anticipated boxing showdowns of the year as Berlanga prepares for his monumental clash with Alvarez. The stakes couldn't be higher. Will versus will, lion versus lion. I'm Puerto Rican, I'm young, I'm strong, and it's going to be fireworks on September 14th, said Berlanga. I'm not running, we're not going anywhere. We're going to stay right there and do what we do. Canelo Alvarez makes it clear that he's not underestimating his opponent. He promises a thrilling spectacle, declaring that Berlanga will face a significant challenge and that fans are in for an exhilarating experience. I never overlook my opponents. I know Edgar Berlanga is strong, but at the end of the day, he has a big challenge in front of him, Canelo stated. It's going to be a great fight. He's going to experience something different, and the people are going to enjoy this fight. This showdown delivers the latest chapter in the long-standing boxing rivalry between Mexico and Puerto Rico, with the fighting pride of Mexico, Canelo Alvarez, dueling Puerto Rico's Edgar Berlanga. Canelo is no stranger to this heated rivalry, highlighted by numerous historic matchups, including Salvador Sanchez versus Wilfredo Gomez and Julio Cesar Chavez versus Hector Camacho. He also defeated Puerto Rican Hall of Famer Miguel Cotto in one of the biggest Mexico versus Puerto Rico fights in recent memory. This event is promoted by Canelo Promotions and TGB Promotions in association with Matchroom Boxing. Eddie Reynoso, Canelo Alvarez's manager and trainer, discussed the upcoming fight, providing insights into the preparations and the significance of the matchup. Reynoso reflected on the deep respect for Berlanga's abilities and the storied history of boxing rivalries between Mexico and Puerto Rico. We know that Berlanga is a good fighter, a strong, undefeated fighter, Reynoso said. The confrontations within boxing between Mexico and Puerto Rico are always intense fights, very passionate, and above all, very good boxing. Puerto Rico has produced many world champions and Hall of Fame fighters, and Mexico has done the same. It is going to be a very attractive fight against a great fighter in Berlanga, who's undefeated and has faced some of the best fighters competing at 168 pounds over the last few years. As the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga draws closer, both camps are deeply immersed in rigorous preparations. The bout, scheduled for September 14th, carries the weight of a historic rivalry between Mexico and Puerto Rico, two nations with rich boxing traditions. Fans and analysts eagerly await how Berlanga, an undefeated contender, will match up against the experienced and highly decorated Canelo. Keith Connolly, the manager of Edgar Berlanga, expressed his enthusiasm for the upcoming fight, highlighting the significance of securing this high-profile bout and the historical rivalry between Mexico and Puerto Rico. I'm excited for my guy Edgar Berlanga to get a shot at the king of boxing, Canelo Alvarez, Connolly stated. This fight renews the Mexico versus Puerto Rico rivalry, which is the best in boxing history. September 14th is a can't-miss event for fans around the world. Connolly's remarks emphasize the significance of this fight for Berlanga's career and the broader boxing world. The renewal of the Mexico versus Puerto Rico rivalry brings a rich historical context to the bout, promising an electrifying atmosphere and high stakes. Tom Brown, president of TGB Promotions, highlighted the significance of the upcoming fight scheduled for Mexican Independence Day weekend. Brown's comments underscored the importance of this event in the context of both boxing and cultural celebrations. Mexican Independence Day weekend is synonymous with big Canelo Alvarez fights, and Saturday, September 14th, will be the next chapter of that historic story, Brown said. The Mexican fans and Puerto Rican fans are going to be in for a wild scene out in Las Vegas. Mexican Independence Day weekend has become synonymous with major boxing events, particularly those featuring Canelo Alvarez. This tradition continues to captivate fans as Canelo consistently headlines these celebrations with high-stakes fights. The upcoming bout against Edgar Berlanga is no exception, promising to deliver an electrifying atmosphere and a thrilling contest. The event is further bolstered by the addition of the Erislandy Lara vs. Danny Garcia World Championship battle as the co-main event, creating a compelling lineup for the holiday weekend. Brown added, Canelo has long reigned as the 168-pound king and will put his 3 unified world titles up against a young, power-punching contender in Edgar Berlanga as he looks to once again score a victory for his home country in the storied rivalry between Mexico and Puerto Rico. With the addition of the Erislandy Lara vs. Danny Garcia World Championship battle in the co-main event, plus more matchups to come, everything lines up for an event worthy of the holiday weekend live from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas in another stacked PBC pay-per-view on Prime Video. Hosted at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas and broadcast as a pay-per-view event on Prime Video, this celebration of Mexican Independence Day is poised to be a memorable chapter in boxing history. Eddie Hearn, chairman of Matchroom Boxing, expressed his excitement about Berlanga's upcoming fight against Canelo Alvarez. Hearn's comments reflect the anticipation and significance of the bout for Berlanga's career, as well as the high expectations for the event. Edgar Berlanga's nickname is the Chosen One, and I'm so happy he got the golden pick for September 14th, Hearn stated. This is the fight we dreamed about when we signed Edgar last year, and he is ready to give everything for himself, his family, and for Puerto Rico. You have a young, unbeaten, fearless puncher ready to tackle one of the all-time greats. Get ready for drama in Las Vegas. Hearn's statement underscores the significance of the upcoming fight for Berlanga and the excitement surrounding it. By referring to Berlanga as the Chosen One and highlighting the long-awaited nature of this bout, Hearn emphasizes the high stakes and immense potential of the fight. Hearn also shared his thoughts on the challenges surrounding this matchup, emphasizing Berlanga's journey and right to face Canelo. Now we have a real shot in Edgar Berlanga. It's been interesting to see the response. I think Edgar's been overlooked, disrespected. He's the #1 challenger with the WBA. He's the mandatory challenger. He's earned the right to this shot. When we signed him 13 months ago, we promised him a shot at the great Canelo Alvarez. As things moved on, that shot looked as though it became more difficult. And as always, it's the lottery ticket of boxing to land a shot against Canelo Alvarez. Hearn emphasized Berlanga's credentials and determination. This isn't just about winning the lottery. This is about claiming a ticket, and Edgar Berlanga is here only to win. 16 first-round knockouts in his first 16 fights, 22-0. This kid has amateur pedigree. This kid has ability. This kid has dynamite in his hands. And this kid has a big set of cojones that will put everything on the line on September 14th. With a nod to Berlanga's courage and determination, Hearn assures that Berlanga is prepared to give his all in the ring, demonstrating his fearless attitude and readiness for the challenge. Canelo Alvarez, weeks are always incredible scenes, but remember one thing, this guy is here to fight. This guy is here to dethrone the king, and he will give it everything and let his hands go on a wild night in Las Vegas on September 14th. Furthermore, Hearn added, I know that Canelo Alvarez wants real fights guys that will come to him to win. This guy won't dance around the ring. He won't try and survive the 12 rounds. He will come for a firefight with Canelo Alvarez. And yes, it is Puerto Rico against Mexico, but it's deeper than that. This is an opportunity of a lifetime for Edgar and his father. He's dedicated his life to the sport, and I promise you he will give every inch of his soul in Las Vegas. Having captured world titles at 154, 160, 168, and 175 pounds, Canelo steps back into the ring after dropping countryman Jaime Munguia in May on his way to a unanimous decision win. The fighting pride of Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, Canelo became undisputed at super middleweight in November 2021 by taking the IBF belt from then unbeaten Caleb Plant via an 11th round TKO, eventually going on to successfully defend all 4 titles, 4 times. After dropping a light heavyweight title fight against Dmitry Bivol in May 2022, Canelo rebounded to defeat Gennady Golovkin in their September 2022 trilogy fight before besting John Ryder and Jermall Charlo in 2023. "I am very happy for this fight between Mexico and Puerto Rico," said Alvarez. "It's exciting to be part of another great Mexico versus Puerto Rico battle."